Roni Haskell, otherwise known as That SC Real Estate Chick. And today I'm joined by Irene Rose, and we're going to talk a little bit about your inspiring story and your dedication to our community.
Excited to see you this morning.
Yes, thank you. So, Irene, when I think of inspiring women in our town, I think of you. You're easy to just really highlight in this community because of your inspiring story. So that's what I'm here to share today and kind of put you onto a spotlight, so to speak, to be able to share your inspiring story and about who you are and how you've gotten to where you are.
Well, thanks so much for having me. It's good to see you this morning.
You're welcome. So I wanted to speak on a couple of your career highlights, and then we're going to go kind of deep into that conversation about some of these. Song of the Year winner at the Josie Music Awards at the Grand Ole Opry. That was just last year, 2025. Voting member of the Grammy Recording Academy. Signed artist, writer on Music Row in Nashville. I'm just honored to know you, by the way, and call you a friend. Four-time Josie Music Award nominee. You have 30 plus songs featured on radio and television, and you are not only a musician, but you're also a songwriter.
Yes.
Yes to all of that.
I am.
Do you realize that is inspiring, to say the least? You haven't always had an easy journey getting to where you are, though. In fact, I've heard it said that at one point you even kind of stepped out of the music career for a bit.
I did. Well, I never stepped away from music, but I stepped away from the path, the golden path that looked like it was going to give me all my dreams. When I was in Nashville, I did have a record deal as a songwriter and as an artist, and I had worked my way up to a reality show that was going to really kickstart, really break me through. And they were offering me more money to film one episode than I had made in an entire year with a record deal. It was very appealing, but the producers flashed the lights and the cameras on me and they said, "I want you to say this line." And I knew that it was against my faith. And I pushed back and I didn't want to say it, but they really pressured me and I was scared and I said it. And the line was, "I have no plan B. My backup plan is a Patsy Cline record, a shot of whiskey, and a pistol." And when I took in the gravity of what I had said, that I would rather commit suicide than not be a star, I thought of their verse in the Bible that says, "What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?"
Yeah.
And I thought, my soul is too valuable to sell to show business. And so I took it off the market and I transitioned into children's music. And I've been doing that for over the last decade. And it's been much more successful and fulfilling.
So you also, I have read a bit of your story, and it's been a hard journey to getting to the place of really a career in making money. Let's talk about that for a moment, because we see a little bit of stardom. You know, you see all these people there in Nashville, but it's a hard place to go, to build a business, so to speak.
Oh, just because you're famous doesn't mean you're rich. That's for sure. I had friends that were on The Voice and American Idol, and they couldn't even afford gas to get to their co-writes. Streaming doesn't really make any money at all. When they went out with the CD, it kind of really chopped the legs out from these musicians. The only way that we get paid is when we perform live, or if we get licensing deals, which are kind of going away as well. But with Once Upon a Party, I started after Nashville. I used to sing Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, bar gigs all the time. I realized I'm 28. I don't want to do that anymore. How can I make money as a musician without singing bars? And I started Once Upon a Party, which was a children's entertainment company with princesses and pirates and superheroes. And I used that as a platform to showcase my children's music. So I would do an anti-bullying song with a superhero party, and I would do an inner beauty song with a princess party, things like that. So that, building that company, forging my own path, really gave me a platform for my children's music. And now people hire me just as Irene Rose, which is wonderful. So I don't have to wear Supergirl outfits and wigs and everything. And I just get to sing my own songs as my own self.
Although you do a great job dressing up, mind you. But that business alone won its own prestige and honor and some accolades. And so, but that was your launching pad to get your name recognized in the children's music industry, right? Yes. And now that music, though, is really tailored towards faith and some leadership qualities in children. And today you still get to be able to showcase your music in schools and in the community. Talk about a little bit about that.
So Jesus is my heart. I love to sing about Jesus, but I understand that not everyone is on the same page about that, and that's totally fine. So I have different types of music where I can sing public schools or Jewish camps or community events where faith is not the central thing. But everything that I write comes from my moral compass, which is tell the truth, love your neighbor, be kind, overcome evil with good, things like that. So kind of messages that everyone can get behind, whether or not, no matter what your faith is.
I've gotten the privilege of seeing you. I was at a oyster festival, what was that, about a year or so ago, and just so happened you were getting ready to go on stage while I was there. And so the Boone Hall Oyster Festival, yes. And so I got the privilege of just getting a little glimpse into that. But you are very entertaining. Let me kind of segue a little bit into community as well, because your father is somebody who I admire. He's a legacy of real estate here in Somerville. So you've grown up with a father and in a family of real estate.
I do.
So he helped kind of pave the path. Getting this town really was an instrument, and I have a lot of respect for Foster. What was that like as a child of a realtor?
Oh, he was the best dad ever, and he really cared about people. And I just saw such an example from him of if people, if people like couldn't pay their rent, he started buying rentals when I was in high school, I think, maybe 11 or 12. He, instead of just kicking them out, he would get together with them and he'd sit down, he'd write a financial plan with them, and he'd wipe out their debt and say, like, we're starting from zero and this is how we're going to do it. And he'd set up accounts for them, and he just really cared about people. It was never just about money with him by any means. He sold his first house when he was, I think, 10 or 11. He loves to joke that he sold the house when he was 10 or 11. It was the house next door. My grandfather was also a realtor. He had to go out and he said, here's the key, open the house for the people that are coming. And he did, and they bought the house. So he loves to say that. But he is such a man of integrity, and he always put God first. And the Lord has blessed him so much financially and in real estate, because he took he stopped working on Sundays when I was a kid, kind of took the Chick-fil-A approach. And everyone told him he was signing his death wish in real estate and he'd never make it. He's like top 3% in the nation for realtors. So he's just very inspiring. Make your own path, stick to your convictions, forge your own way, and God will honor that.
And he has.
Absolutely.
And he has instilled those quality traits in you.
Yes.
And I don't know if there could be a better testimony of a legacy than, and he truly, if you sit at a closing table, or if I'm in a transaction and he's on the other side of it, that's who you want to be. Yes. There's such a high level of collaboration in this business that I don't think that most people understand amongst the realtor community, right? Majority of my days are working with and alongside in usually friendly negotiations. But if you ever get the honor and privilege to work alongside of somebody like Foster Smith, or even better yet, Foster himself, it really is such a joy, and the collaboration is absolutely there. And he does honor his Lord, and so he makes it known at the closing table, just as you did before we started this conversation and in prayer. So I think that faith and service has led you to where you are, and God has opened up doors, and he's using you to continue to impact our community and the families that every single person that you get to touch. So I'm glad that he has given you the platform to showcase who you are and what the glory is that you can give. So
I'm proud to be his daughter.
Yes. In both ways, right? The Lord and in Foster. So Irene Rose, is there anything else that you would like to share?
Sure. I just came out with a new song called I Can Do It, which I found on a voice memo on my phone from when my first daughter, who's now almost 5, was 1. I have a 1-year-old now. And so I thought, let's revive this song and bring it back. It's about teaching children independence and the courage to try to do their own way, but also the vulnerability to ask for help when you can't do it. So just giving children that resilience of, I can do it. If I can't do it, I'll ask for help. It's the first song I've released that does not have my own voice on it. It is my own voice, but we computer generated it to sound like children. So it's got a kid's voice on it. And I'm just excited to see, I'm throwing something different at the wall and see if it sticks. So
Well, I did listen to it. I enjoyed it. It is a great lesson for even adults. If you really listen to the message and what it is that you're trying to instill, I think that it will be enjoyed by all. If people want to go find that song, where do they find that?
It's on all streaming platforms, but Spotify is probably the best. Irene Rose on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. It's Okay to Make Mistakes is the one that won Song of the Year, and that was written with the special needs community in mind, but it applies to everyone. It also teaches the message of resilience and not giving up when things get hard.
I love that. Well, thank you again so much for joining us.
Roni.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.